Okay. I started the recording, so
Okay.
I'll ask him to catch up later.
Nice.
So last time we have already, I think we finished the video 3, did we? Let me share the screen with you first. So that...
I think we finished video 5.
Oh,
Video 4.
lesson 5, not video 5.
Yeah, sorry, lesson 5.
I just sent out the video 5 and 6, I think.
Yeah.
So this one, I think we covered this one, right?
Yeah, we covered it.
Opportunity screening, very briefly, I remember. So I ask you to think about this part. Okay. We covered this, right? I think we covered it very quickly, so let's move on to the next one. This one is mainly about passion and skills. Yeah, we covered this one. So today we'll try to cover video 4, 5. If we'll see if we can finish 6, because if if we want to be on track, we should be on video 6 already. Let's see. Okay. There's not much in video 4 and 5. All the very important financial information is started from video 5 and 6. So it should be fine. So for this one is pretty simple. It's mainly like ideation. It's mainly about like when you explore the entrepreneurship or explore your business, try to think from all parts, like keep an open mind and try to think like exploring a new place, like traveling around. So this session mainly tells us about what is ideation. It follows opportunity recognition, like identify pain point. We already covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's see our Google Drive. So starting from this session, we are going to try to write more, write more parts out to prepare for the essay. So here, last time we talked about pain point.
Yeah.
Last time we mainly have some ideas. So starting from today, try to write it into sentences.
Okay.
Pain points. And the last time we talked about for pain points, it's mainly 2 parts. One is convenience, like bring convenience to everyone. One is affordable, like maybe there in the market there are already something, but they are not that affordable. How to make it cheaper? This is how to product cheaper. So our product is an online platform.
Yeah.
Would be fine.
So yeah, so the one, I think I said this before, but the one thing that sets us apart from competition is the fact that it's going to be more local and it's going to have more of a focus on local businesses rather than like huge landmarks and big hotels and companies.
But do we plan to make it big in the future?
Well, it's going to also include like these big landmarks and big hotels, but it's not going to like the thing that sets it apart is that it's going to be like local. It's going to have local businesses in it, and it's going to have smaller cities rather than just big cities.
So it's mainly grocery store. You just said hotels. Are we going to include hotels?
Well, no, not like hotels, but like restaurants, grocery stores, even just cleanliness of just other like landmarks and stuff. But I think that should come later. And I think the main focus should be restaurants and grocery stores.
Yeah. I remember we talked about restaurants. It's a little bit hard because we cannot get the data. It's very hard for us to get the data, so we will focus on the grocery store. Do you
Wait,
remember?
I'm a little confused by how we won't be able to get data from restaurants.
Yeah, restaurants. Do you remember last time when we talk about restaurants, we need to know like how clean is when we want to know how clean the food is, we will need to know like where they get their food. But it's very hard to know because if you just walk in a restaurant and ask them like where did you get your food, I don't think a lot of people will tell you the truth. And it's hard to get to know where really they got their like vegetables, they got their meat. It's hard to say, it's hard to know, right?
Yeah, so
Hmm. How can you
I think there
define?
should be the option to do that, but only if a restaurant is willing to share all that information.
Yeah, but even though they are willing to share, how can you assure the like the whether it's true or not, whether they are lying or not?
Um, well, so I think it would be, well, one, it'd be easy enough to tell based on the price of the goods and the price of the food, because organic food is generally a lot more expensive.
But for grocery, you can tell. But
Yeah,
for restaurants, how can you tell whether like if you go to a like a American restaurant for brunch, how do you know that tomato is organic or not? How do you know the
well,
rice they serve is organic or
at
not?
some point the sourcing of the ingredients comes down to the owner, and it's based on honor rule at that point.
Oh, honor roll.
Maybe we can go based on receipt. They can submit a receipt for food.
Oh, so you mean ask the owner for the receipt of like
Yeah,
uh where they get the all the like resources, all their food resources.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, and then the receipt would be able
But
to show.
it's a good idea, but do you think it's hard to collect those information? Like, because even if we don't have to, you know, make this app already when we present it, but we need to already collect some data. Do you think it's hard
Um,
to get it?
so if it's only for a few restaurants, I know a few restaurant owners in the area,
Mhm.
just in general, so I can get the data from there, and I think I think we'd be fine if we were able to get even just a few restaurants. I mean, my debate coach actually owns a restaurant, and
No
he has a lot of
some
contacts.
restaurants that we can start with. Hmm. And then for other restaurants,
And then also in
maybe
the app, we'd have a section to, if you want to claim a business, you have to, um, well, maybe not claim a business. Maybe I think the owner should put the business. So
oh,
if the owner wants to put a business onto the platform, then they will need to submit information, specifically um, like receipt, and then also, yeah, like receipt. And if they really, and I think if a business really wanted to cheat the system and get onto the platform despite not using organic food, it'd be possible if they bought organic food once and then they switch back to normal food. But it'd just be, at that point, it'd just be too much of a hassle.
so I got what you mean. So it's like we list the business in the area. For example, it's just like a Google map. We have different
Yeah,
business for this area, and the owner can claim the business and provide the data.
yeah,
Is that what you mean? Okay. It's like the reffing, the real estate app. like people can claim
Oh
that.
yeah. Well, I don't think it'd be really claiming. I think it'd be better if the owner actually submits the business themselves.
You
Because
want
then
them to
maybe
submit the business themselves. But that's gonna be very difficult for you, for in the first stage, because not much why they are submitting it. Like, how can you get enough people, enough business to submit their information?
yeah, that'd be a little bit of a problem. But if we have owners claim businesses, then a loophole around actually that'd just be a loophole around actually submitting the business, just because it'd allow people to review the business and
Mm-hmm.
still give it good reviews, and the reviews would still be posted. However, there just wouldn't be an owner and there wouldn't be enough information on the actual site.
What do you mean? Can you say more about it?
Okay,
Why 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 submitting the information?
so if the owner has to submit the information when they first go in
Mm-hmm.
to the platform, then the owner would be, yes, so the owner would have to basically be held accountable
Yeah.
for everything.
Um.
However, if the business is unclaimed, then, well, one, there wouldn't be any statistics on the organic food, and there wouldn't be any receipts and stuff. And two, there would also be user reviews, which the owner can just fake. And at that point, so if
Ew.
so, yeah,
I think we can do that. Like, we have a list of the business, like we have a list of business like Yelp, and
yeah,
if the business, if there is no data, you can beside the business section you can put like something like data unknown, data unknown.
yeah, I think that would work, but
Yeah.
it still wouldn't get past the fact of fake reviews without enough information, therefore making our
At
platform
least
less
with a
legitimate.
list, it can it can kind of push people to fill out the information, because if there's nothing there, maybe it's hard for a lot of business to to really go there to submit the information. It's gonna be hard for you to start the whole business. Maybe you can list all the business there, still give them the option of submitting the information. But for some big businesses, like some big restaurants, chain restaurants, then you can put them there, and customers, they can update the review, like the food is really fresh, the cleanness, like they can rate there. And but uh, the business owners, if they see it, if they see data unknown, they can try to claim it and pull out the information there. I think it
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
gonna give a push to other business.
yeah, that definitely work.
Okay, so from my understanding is, in this app there are gonna be two sections. One is restaurants, one is grocery stores.
So I think the best way would be to combine them without, while making the app, like the simplest way to make the app is just having a search bar, put in location, and then you can type in what you want to search for. So at this point it would just be restaurants or grocery stores, but eventually I think the goal is to get it bigger than just restaurants and grocery stores, and then it could also be stuff like hotels, different landmarks, maybe even parks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we can start. I feel it's gonna be best we start with local grocery store.
Yeah.
And then for local grocery store, we can, like you and Jeremy, you can collect data from your local area, from Fairfax County first.
Mhm.
Some big, big grocery stores, several Whole Foods, several giant Trader Joe, like all the restaurants. That's
Yeah, I
easy.
think around our house there's like a Trader Joe's, Giant, Fresh Market, Safeway.
Safeway. Where are you located?
Uh,
Quebec
I'm
City.
like no, I'm like in Vienna, but like
Oh, Vienna.
in between like halfway in between Vienna and Tyson's.
Tysons. Oh, okay. Yeah, I
It's
think you
just
can
like
start from that area and
so.
try to think of the criteria you want to put there.
So
Last time
we'd
we.
also be looking at stores like CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, stuff like that, because they're not typically grocery stores. They do have some produce, but not
Mhm.
really.
What we have. Put their address, verify. This is so this part we can put under phone. Okay, we have plenty information already. So this is for the app. Search bar. Need to do the research. So allow user to put a restaurant in the system. So this is for where is it? Restaurants. So this is a local grocery. This is restaurants. Have business and the owner can claim the business. User review. User review. So this is in both grocery.
Yeah, that's both.
So let me pause. User review. So review, when we say user review, there should be criteria.
Yeah, I think there'd be like, so the criteria would be cleanliness, price,
Cleanliness, price.
and probably quality. But yeah, I guess it'd have to be quality because
Quality.
I don't think we can just give how eco-friendly a place is and then not give quality of the food.
Quality and organic. Fresh, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
How fresh it is. Eco-friendly. Remember the plastic plastic bag. Just how we collect data by visiting. Okay, let me put it here. Yes. How much percent is organic food? Is it eco-friendly? So this is a criteria.
So I don't really know if that'd be for the user. So I think for the user, it'd be cleanliness, price, quality, and then probably fresh. But then organic, amount of plastic bags used. I think those would be for the owner to fill out or to start off for us to fill out.
Can we do, because if we have too much, I'm thinking like maybe the owner can fill out a version and the customer can fill out a version.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have them compare to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe try to make the criteria, synced together, the same criteria that are going to be.
So the only problem with amount of organic food and amount of plastic bags used is that unless the user is really invested in the app, they won't actually go out searching for the amount of plastic bags that a grocery store uses and the percent of organic food a grocery store has.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking like, so for this, it's like how eco-friendly. So maybe are they using plastic bag or
Yeah,
side recycled bags?
yeah, that would work.
Right. Yeah, for the criteria, I think this is very important. Maybe we can later. Criteria, user review criteria. Business owner can claim it. Local, okay. App, search bar, and search bar, and then search the area. We have for the results, which market? So for the grocery store, we're gonna put this information organic. House restaurants. So this we decided we will do both. I'll delete this part, restaurant. Start some kind of app prototype framework. We can keep adding features. Okay, we can also think about the interface of the app.
Mm-hmm. So I actually some ideas for that.
Oh, really? Great. Did you draw it out or kind of like?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really know how to put it in. I could probably draw a picture and put the picture in. That's probably
Yeah, you can draw it through I don't know, you can take a picture of whatever you draw,
yeah, I
or you
think
can just
that
draw
would work.
with simple lines on here. So for the interface, can you draw it and show it to us maybe next week? No, next class, or you can do it today. You already have some kind of idea.
Um yeah, but not formally drawn out.
Okay. Yeah. How about discuss with Jeremy and about the interface, and we can talk about the interface next time. So for the interface, it's not that urgent. It's gonna be on the pitch deck, on the PPT later. In the essay, you don't have to have this. So
Yeah, it makes sense. So I'm a little confused about what the essay is supposed to include. Is it just
what the essay what?
what is the essay really supposed to include? Is it just supposed to include the idea?
Mainly the idea. Do you still remember the example I gave to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah, you have that right. So basically what we're gonna include is like mainly the idea, how you're gonna run it, and what's the future plan, and if it's business track, if we finally still decide to continue with the business track, we also need to include the financial forecast, and how we're gonna run the run the operation, the whole business model, we're gonna include all the information.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why every time when I go over the PPT with you, we will like for every point, we will connect back to the brainstorm part, because this is a draft. Like this Google brainstorm ideas. This is a draft for your essay. When we write out the essay, we're gonna based on this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
why I keep writing things out and try to sort it. So later when we when we write the essay, we can show people like what is a point of pain, what is a pain point for most of people, why our app is the best in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. What our app gonna achieve, what kind of functions it gonna achieve, and what's gonna be on the app, and the data, how we're gonna collect the data. This information all needs to be in the essay.
Mm-hmm.
And the criteria, why we decided to use this criteria instead of other criteria, like what's the research, what do we do the criteria based on? Is that based on the like random ideas, or is that based on some kind of research published already from some magazines? So all this gonna be shown in the essay.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, let's go back. So point of pain, we already covered. There are many techniques that can be used to think. This is for thinking. Oh, this is called negativity bias. Negativity bias is natural. Like for example, like if for this app, how we gonna make money if we charge people for annual subscription fee? How much it gonna be? Is it gonna be too expensive? Like things like that, like reframing limitations.
Mm-hmm.
If this is a very expensive product, so our goal is to try to understand how like why it's too expensive, how can we make it cheaper, like what we can do to cut the costs. Like that's what we need to think about. But our product is an app, so maybe what we need to think is how to get enough customer flow. This is the most important, because if not a lot of people using our app, then it's hard for us to get the advertisement in, then it's hard for us to make money.
Yeah.
So how do we get enough people to use it? Is it mainly because like every people cares about the environment? Actually, not a lot of people cares about the environment. In the real world, people think more about like how to make money, and that's the reality for the for the real world. So how we kind of raise the awareness, that's also something we need to think about. How we connect environmental protection to people's their own interest, like their health, how they want to be healthy. Everyone wants to eat healthier. So maybe that's the kind of pain point we need to also mention.
Yeah, what if we have like different what if we have like different stats for different types of food? So like I don't know, for example, like do you know how like some seafood actually has like mercury in it?
Oh yeah, I
And
heard. Uh-huh.
so we can so I've made maybe like that's one way we can connect it to health is through the different like different chemicals in different foods and which ones are harmful, how much dosage is harmful, and based on and like there's already all this research for it. There's already like all this average for it. We just need to do some math for how much is actually lethal, how much like will actually affect you.
Mm. So to do that, how we gonna make the app? I mean, how we gonna do it? Like if we go to a Vietnam pho, the noodle restaurant, you put the
Well, we
maybe
don't
the
even need to do that.
calorie, huh?
So with like let's keep using seafood as an example. There's
Seafood.
already all these averages for these different types of seafood. There's like tuna has a specific amount of mercury, and all of a sudden, and
Oh,
like there's already all these numbers for it. So if we can
but
show,
people they should know their allergies, right?
well, it's not an allergy. It's like it's just like a chemical, and a certain amount will be lethal or cause problems for the immune.
It's gonna be very interesting, very kind of weird when you
Yeah,
click click on the information like don't eat too much crabs. If you eat 100 crabs, you're gonna be poisoned.
yeah, it'll
That's
be
kind of
really weird.
weird. If we right,
But if we found a better way to integrate it,
yeah. I mean,
that
what
can
kind of
maybe
way?
tie
But
into some people's just like um awareness of their health.
oh, so for example, like uh crabs, they are nutritious, but don't eat more than 7
Yeah,
crabs in one meal because of like certain things,
yeah.
right? Like health. I think we put it somewhere. Health tips. Yeah, health tips.
Hmm.
So for health tips, maybe example like crabs, although it's nutritious, do not eat more than 7 crabs in one meal.
Yeah.
Because blah blah blah.
Maybe we can just have like one different health tip per day. Like, I don't know, maybe one day we have one for crabs, maybe we have one for like apples.
Well, apples, I think the more the better. That's what I feel.
If there's
Oh,
like,
maybe like for apples because it contains a lot of sugar. So maybe like um, but it's gonna be hard to show on your app because hmm, how you gonna combine this information with the restaurant and the grocery?
I think we can maybe link to a we can maybe ask the person what their favorite thing they bought was, or their favorite thing they got at the restaurant, and if it has a certain ingredient in it, then we can just have a separate like a
Oh,
separate tab in the restaurant section that shows that how many people like this item from the grocery store,
mhm.
and then it has health tips for each item.
Oh, mm. I think I kind of get what you mean.
Okay.
So, wow, this app gonna be very complicated, and it needs a lot of data support. You need to,
Definitely.
yeah. Let me put it at the end. So maybe later you can think about it, like favorite food selection and uh, the tips for food choice. Mm. You just said like how many people like it
Yeah.
and uh, what is uh, recommended eating method.
Yeah.
Method. or is good. Let's put a question mark here. Let's just think about more about this one. I'm not very sure, but I think it's a good idea to think about how to.
So I kind of don't want to make the app too complicated, but maybe another thing is like news about like food. Like, I think you know that like a lot of produce now is getting a like like even like this lettuce stuff that came out I think earlier this year about how
Yeah,
not like lettuce recall, just like some just like news
let
like
it recall.
I don't want to make it too complicated, but just like I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, go ahead. Because the more ideas, the better. We are still in the brainstorm phase.
Mhm.
Yeah, the more ideas, the better.
Yeah, just news about like food and food safety and like recalls
I
on
remember 1 year there is like some kind of like virus, which
yeah,
can be
Chipotle.
passed around through cucumber.
Yeah, Chipotle.
Oh, you know the name. I don't know
Yeah.
the name. Cucumber. How to spell that?
Yeah, I think it was like E. coli.
Like what?
I think it was E. coli.
E. coli?
Yeah.
Cola? This one?
Or ECOL. Wait, I'm not
ECO.
great at spelling. EC.
Let me search.
EC. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
I remember that one. E. coli.
yeah.
This one?
Um. Yeah.
E. E. coli cucumber scare cases likely to increase.
Yeah.
But oh my god, it's scary.
Yeah.
Oh, not only cucumber, orange, melon, potato, carrots.
That's a little crazy.
Scary. Example. Yeah, I think this idea is pretty good. Let me,
Okay.
we can edit it. Okay, let's come back. So this is a video discussion. Have you been in a foreign country? The French philosopher, nothing is more dangerous. This is pretty simple. Like nothing is more dangerous than an idea when it is the only one you have. So it's dangerous to not having ideas. Basically, it means like try to think as diverse as you can, as more as you can. The more ideas you have, the better.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. This one is simple. Okay, we'll just go through it very quickly. This for video 4, it's quite simple. Let's go to video 5. Video 5. Oh, this one you need to know about it because it talks about this section talks about other types of business. So for this several ones like lifestyle business, small family business, scalable startup, viable startup, large. So we used to be very familiar with mainly small business,
Mm-hmm.
and later after you go to work, you will get to know more about like scalable startups, like big companies like Google, Facebook, you know,
Yeah.
all these big giant companies. And also, if you study on computer science, you're gonna get to know more about like viable startups. For viable startups, some examples include all the app, for a lot of companies, they make a lot of like app. Their goal is to sell their business. Later, maybe sell their business to Uber, to Google, to those big companies. This kind of startup is called viable startups. For our like this app idea, actually is very similar to this viable startups.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you want to later run it into like a family small business, right?
No.
Yeah.
I was thinking I was more like a social enterprise, but I don't really know. Just based on the definition there.
It can start with a social enterprise to make a difference, right?
Yeah.
But your data gonna be very important, actually very essential for companies like Google.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you remember that there's an app that's used for report where the police is when you drive on the road if there is like a
Yeah,
traffic?
ways.
Yeah, Waze. And Waze is sold to Google, I remember.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that like Waze, they collect all the information, all the data, and they sell their data to Google. I think our app is a little bit similar to this because you collect data from local business. You have all the reviews, all the customers.
Mm-hmm.
It can goes into that kind of direction, viable startups. That's what I feel.
So wait a minute. Just a really quick question. If we collect data, do we need to have a contract about what we're gonna do with the data?
You mean you have a contract with who? With all the business? With
Yeah.
grocery stores?
Yeah.
I mean, if the data is their self-reported data, I think there is.
But with the user reported data?
Because when we use Yelp, like, did we sign any kind of like consent? Do you remember?
In terms of service, I think.
Okay.
I think the only way to review is if you create an account and accept the terms of service.
Yeah. So what we can do with our app as well, right? When
Yeah.
people sign up, when people install your app, they kind of acknowledge they already, consent to all the terms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when the business install your app, also make them to consent. Like whatever data they put in this, you put in this app, it's gonna, like, we have the right to use that data, or we have the right to resell that data.
Yeah. Maybe not even, I don't think we should do sell because that would probably be a turn off for some businesses.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We can think about that later.
Yes.
Just I don't
We
know.
can start with social enterprise because it's more like making a difference at this
Yeah.
stage, right?
Yeah.
It's not viable startup yet. Kind of, it can go to that direction
Mm-hmm.
if you really made this app and it really, gets into use and a lot of people started to use it. Maybe, yeah, it can become really good, but it's hard. It's hard to really make the app and make it into use.
Mm-hmm.
Lifestyle business is people who live their passion. It's like those artists,
Yeah.
they have their drawings, they have their different designs. They have their like some people, they start up some business with tea house, and it's mainly what they like to do. They don't care much about like how much profit they make. They mainly do it because of their passion.
Yeah.
So large companies start up in the market through innovation. Oh, large company startup. This kind of startup is like Google has a lot of it. Like Google, because they are a very big company, they still hope to get a lot of innovation. So they have a lot of startups within their company. Actually,
So like they create a company for a specific idea.
yeah, they have, yeah, under their big umbrella, they have
Ah,
like small companies. Actually, this is very normal in a lot of companies nowadays. For my company, like I work for, because our like initially when I joined my company, it's called New Oasis International Education. So it's mainly to serve students like from different countries. And then later we have several companies, like we kind of you know, we are bought by a bigger company, and we also bought some other small companies. So right now we are under a umbrella called Tower Bridge International Group, and we have different companies, and within under this umbrella we are also starting up a lot of new business, and we are starting up a lot of like new startups within this TBI group. So
okay, that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. So for our company, like last year we have, actually 2 years ago, we started a new company to work for students who wants to do the like who needs help with the college application. And help them to, you know, help them to kind of like identify what schools they can go to, and try to connect them with the college admission representatives. And last year we started up another company, tried helping people to do all the for the trainings, for all kinds of training like American math competition, and like use a USABO biology competition, like all these kind of competitions. So it's like, even it's a big company, it has very small companies within it. It's kind of very normal right now, very common.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you will get to know about it later when you get into a big company.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very common. Different types of new business vary in terms of business feasibility, yes. Because the larger the company gets, the less their flexibility is. Big company, they have everything structured. It's very hard to make changes unless you make another small company within this big group. That's why I like to do, I like to you know, startup. I like to do this kind of large company startups a lot within my company, because I don't like all those rules, policies, structures. I don't like those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused about this business feasibility and growth potential.
Mm-hmm.
So that just means as a business gets bigger, then
Mm-hmm.
they grow less.
Yes. That's true. Let me think about some example. Okay. Mm, let me think which is a good example. For example, do you know Nokia, that
Yeah.
the cell phone? Yeah. So because they are very big, everything is very structured. It's very hard for them to root out their basics to think about a new idea to make a phone like Apple, like iPhone. So that's why Nokia is so perfect. I mean, people use Nokia like it's hard as a rock. It's very hard to break it, and it's really stable. Nokia is very good, like in quality wise, it's really good. But still, the company got like later broken, and sold out, sold to other, you know, companies. Why? It's mainly like when it gets too big, without enough innovation, without other small business within it, it can get stuck somewhere. And when there is an iPhone, there is like a very new thing. People kind of, you know, when it gets trendy, people kind of all go to get the iPhone. It's very hard for big company like Nokia to survive. Also, let me think of, uh, there's another one. That company, the name is Coda. I'm not sure if you know. It's like for people to take when they take pictures. The older ways they have that kind of film, like the black thing, film to record all the pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a very big company. Like that's one of the largest company. But they later the company later actually for the digital pictures, Kodak, this company, they have had this technology first, like before a lot of other companies, but they didn't develop it because it will impact their their sales of their those films. So they cut the sales of those digital films, but later this company they kind of closed down because there is not enough innovation, because they are too big. It's hard for them to make a big turn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why there are a lot of large company startups recently, because it's too hard for big companies to make changes. If they make a small change, even a small change, they will has too much changes for the whole company because they're too big, too many people.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is mainly for this part. Time, so we have I think that I sent this one to you. It's a explanation of the different companies. Let me see if there are some other examples. Small scalable startups want to be big. Yeah, this kind of company like Google, Skype, Facebook, Twitter, like after they start up, they try to get enough funding, raise money, like financial investors. Yeah, VC, they will try to get enough VC and enough capital from venture capitalists. This is called scalable startups. When they talk with VC, they mainly talk about like I want a 5 million, I want a 10 million, like that kind of. Their topic is always like, how much capital I need and what I can get. This is a very trendy topic for scalable startups. A lot of Silicon Valley companies, they are this kind of, this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, tend to group together. Yeah, Silicon Valley, see, Shanghai, New York, Boston, Israel. Yes, they make up a small percentage. They attract all the risk. See, risk capital. You know the risk capital, right? For the risk capital, they put a lot of money in this kind of startups.
Okay.
Have you heard of risk capital?
Um,
If you don't, try to get to know, like kind of research, get to know more about it.
okay.
Venture capitalists, risk capital. These are very, I would say, very hot topics, very trendy topics, especially for people who want to do computer science area in the future.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, while large companies experiment. Viable, born to flip. Yeah, web and mobile apps. See, mobile apps.
Yeah.
They are funded to be sold to large companies.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Large company innovate or evaporate. Um, I'm not sure if you heard about WeChat. Have you heard about WeChat?
I've heard of them.
Huh?
I've heard of them.
Yeah. WeChat. WeChat is it's a large company startup as well. It's like in China, like when people used to chat with each other, they use a app called QQ. QQ is like a very big company. Almost everyone has a QQ number. Then they talk to each other using QQ. And later, like in recent years, QQ becomes less popular. And then WeChat, they kind of, replaced everything. And actually, the WeChat company belongs to QQ company. QQ company is the umbrella. WeChat is like a small company in it. But right now, actually, WeChat accounts for more than 80% of the revenue for the whole QQ group.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, so that's why the large company startups, nowadays becomes more and more important. Because for large companies, sometimes you never know what's gonna happen in the next 10 years. Maybe some of the small, seeds they planted for the startups later grow into a big tree. It's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, driven to make difference. Social startups. No less ambitious, passionate. Their goal is to make the world a better place, not to make a market share. Yeah, it's mainly non-profit. It can be a for-profit or hybrid, but yeah. Yeah, this is a very good article. It also talks about why government don't get startups, and it takes Israel as an example. It's pretty interesting. Okay, let's go back. Invest in recent acquisition made by Google. Did you do this one?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you write it down in the Google Drive?
Yeah, I'm also planning the interview. So I planned the interview.
Uh-huh.
I just need
Oh,
to
great. You're the founder of a lifestyle business, and that's wonderful. So you chose a lifestyle business or a small business?
both.
Great. Now, when did you try to when will you do it for the interview?
So I planned a Okay, so I've planned the interviews and I will get them done soon.
Okay. To whom do you know him or her? It's a
Yeah,
friend?
so my mom's actually a small business owner and then my grandmother's a lifestyle business owner. So
Oh, really? What kind of lifestyle business?
travel agency.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Where?
Um just working from home.
Working from home. Oh, and then what kind of like travel agency, like travel, is that like a website or it's mainly like travel tips or
Um
planner
no, I think it's just you have to
or
I
write out your experience?
but it's her company's called Four Seasons Travel. So like
Mm-hmm.
and she does it all from home and yeah. She just like plans trips for people. Stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So it's like a planner.
Yeah.
Oh, huh. Yeah, that's like really, that's gonna be very informative. Sounds really interesting.
Yes.
Interview a founder of a life. Small business. Yeah. Also seek some advice from your parents about your, or not parents, from the, interviewees, um, about your business. So when you talk with them, also talk with them about your ideas of this app. What kind of pain point you want to resolve? What kind of result we want to get? Why people try to think about how to persuade other people to use your app? Seek their advice as well.
Yeah.
Interview is very good. Yeah, way. Okay, for this one, you wrote it where? Let me hear.
The homework.
There's a learning app called Script. This is Jeremy. Yeah. The Siri software was acquired. Huh. Interesting. I didn't even know it was a separate software. I thought
Yeah,
it
it wasn't actually owned by Apple. It was owned by another company, and
oh
then Apple bought it, and
interesting.
yeah,
Effects of
now
this
it's just like fully integrated.
device suite. That's nice. That's good. A recent addition to the Apple is the Siri shortcuts. That's allows regular. Have you used the Google Voice? Like when you
I
try to
actually like using those voices.
okay.
I don't really use Siri, and I don't really yeah, I just don't like using that stuff.
I don't use Siri because it's hard to use Siri, but I really like to use Google Voice because Google Voice is wow, it's fantastic. I mean, they can, you know, get to know what you are what you are saying, like much better than Siri. Siri is getting better now, but
Hmm.
Google Voice is much better.
Yeah, Siri used to be really bad.
It was a joke,
Mhm.
at first. And I also have the Amazon Alexa.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah.
That one's actually pretty good at like
Yes.
voice recognition, but it's not actually
Uh-huh.
used besides the actual devices. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
mm,
You have to buy all the outlets.
yeah.
Mm. I bought 4 outlets, and I bought 2 Amazon Alexa.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like one upstairs, one downstairs. It's pretty fun to
Yeah.
yeah,
We
sometimes. Yeah.
one, and it's pretty nice.
Mhm. The main thing I use it is to ask about the time and the
Oh,
temperature and to turn on the lights and turn off the lights. That's
oh,
all.
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, actually that's all. That's all I ask. Or sometimes I ask them to play music as well.
Yeah, we mostly use it for music.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really yeah, Alexa is pretty fun.
Hmm.
Okay. Siri good. Uh Jeremy is Socratic that helps high school, university understand their schoolwork. Our learning app. Acquiring additional factors and skills in a beneficial, hence customers are found on the website. But did he say which company acquired it? Didn't, right? Yeah, Jeremy, he needs to put which company. What time is it? Oh, it's already 9:35. So, that's too much. Okay. Interview has been planned. Travel agency, so she can stay at home. Mom, software company for the idea. Great. Yeah, think about the questions. Like, in addition to the difference of the, motivations, that's definitely motivations and priorities for the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also their business model, like how they make money. Their
Yeah.
marketing strategy. We're gonna cover this more in the future, but you can start asking them. Marketing strategies, sales methods, and business model, like how they make money, sales, and customer feedback. What else? Motivations. Also ask them feedback about your idea, app idea. idea. Okay. So, interview founder for lifestyle. Okay, good. What is the other one? Video 6. This building a business like a scientist. The user validation board. Did you watch the video for this one?
No, not yet.
Okay, so we are on video 6. Yeah, next time we're gonna cover 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna send 7, 8 to you. So for the validation board, I attached the validation board into the email, I think. Let me see if I attach it. Yeah, video 6 validation board. So this is mainly to help you do the customer survey. So it's mainly like a survey strategy plan, like because you're gonna have a lot of hypotheses. Like maybe you think people are gonna really care about the environment. You think people really care about how to whether to use plastic bag or not. Yeah, maybe we assume people wants to eat healthy or wants to get better fit, get a better shape. Like what do they really care about? So all this can be, done through a lot of surveys with different customers. So this is a validation board to help you to really get out of the building, and mainly means like to really know what's really out there, like for the real customers, what they really care about. You will later find like some are invalidated, some are validated, like some people, mainly later you will find out that most of people, although they say they care about the environmental science, but mainly when they purchase something, it's mainly out of their own benefit, our own interest. So you will find a lot of very interesting findings after a certain survey.
So I think like the majority of our customers are gonna come from people who purchase stuff like organic foods and just want to get like the cheapest stuff.
Yeah, whether people care like the price or whether it's organic or not.
Like Whole Foods is also going to be like a lot of Whole Foods customers, I think, will use the app just because of how similar it is with their goals, unless they just do Whole Foods. Yeah, I feel like most Whole Foods customers that'll be the demographic that we will try to target.
This validation board gonna help with the essay as well. Because if you, after you done the survey, after you get enough, maybe not a lot of data, but get some data, you can, get some conclusion about what do people really care about, what do people do not really care about, only maybe somewhat care about, and why you think your product gonna be a success. Because you have this data support, you have some survey conducted. This is very important.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because for now, for our app, for our ideas, it's mainly our own ideas. We kind of make it, make it out, like make it, build it by ourselves without really, test it. So next step, you need to test this idea, ask different people what they really think about. Can it have more buy-ins from other people as well? Okay. This is a very good example, scooter business case. So when you check I think I put it in the, where is it? I think in the email. When you click in the email, clear how to use the validation board, you will get into our website. In the website, there are several different videos make sure you choose, you watch all the videos. There, in one video, they talk about like about a scooter business. I think that's a really good example. You can get some idea from that. And I will send video 7 and 8. We need to be on track. We are one video behind, so we should be fine. Assignment. In addition to the assignment I put in the email, I would expect you to clean up the ideas in these documents. Try to make the full sentences and discuss some parts like this part, discuss some parts like I highlighted with Jeremy, and also discuss the interface of the app with Jeremy.
Nice.
Okay. Economics, how to make a. I think this is fine. We don't need to work on it yet. Important. How to read it. Yeah, I'll move this part later to other places. So mainly, okay. Okay, I think we are on the track. Pretty good. This month we'll keep adding stuff into this document, and next month we will like finalize this paper. So do more research. Make sure to do more research. Survey and data research. Actually, it shouldn't take a lot of time. Just spend 1 hour for the research. Like try to search through like Google Scholar and mainly Google Scholar. You can find a lot of information. I'm not sure in your school if your school has that kind of like data pool or like magazine pool for you to search for information. Does your school have that? Some school they have like a place for you to search for the like publication or the science publication. Does your school have that?
Yeah, we do have that.
You do have that? Yeah. Then do some research on that about the. Maybe you can. I think you. What in my mind is like you can do the research about the organic food, and about the use. I remember the house tips you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and organic food. I think organic food is very important topic.
Definitely.
And also search to see if there are already some kind of this. Let me mark it. I think.
Yeah. So far, yeah, no groceries. So I'll keep working, but yeah.
You highlight. So competition. If other people are doing this as well. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. So next class, are we still gonna do Sunday night? Let's see.
Yeah, yeah. I just forgot about last Sunday, so okay. I'll remember this time and
okay.
Yeah.
You see 13, 27. So 27, maybe what time? 7? 7 or 7:30. Yeah, I should be home. 27. What time is better? 7 or 7:30?
Either one should work.
Either one is well. Let me see. Yeah, let's do 7. Okay, let's do 7. Good. Yeah, 7, 8. Okay. Yeah, then that's all for today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Yes.
Yeah. Say hi to Jeremy.
Okay.
Poor him. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you.